is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night.
Howdy, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me take a look at the audio. Okay, going out. Good deal. So, got gonna have just a quick conversation with you on something that you would think would be common sense, but apparently it's not. Um, so first off, had the exciting adventure of tearing apart the coffee pot today and cleaning it up, reassembling it. Nothing was wrong with it other than the fact that it was getting gunked up. Even though all the water that goes into that coffee pot runs through our gravity feed water filter, um, it still gets like a white scaly residue on it. And, it is what it is. And then it just, you build up in a coffee maker, you'll get grime that will build up because it's kind of just the nature of the beast. And so I don't know. I can only look at it for so long before I'm like, and I start pulling out screwdrivers. So that's the first time I took that one apart, and it was funny. I flipped it over, and I had, pardon me, I had my regular screwdriver set there handy, which that Mitaku or however it's pronounced, that set that you see me use. And so I grabbed out a Phillips screwdriver, jammed it down in the hole, and started turning. I'm like, that's not catching. So I grabbed my light and shined it down in the hole. Sure enough, it had the stupid security, the safety screws in it. This is the one that's like a flat head, except it has a bump in the middle. So on the screwdriver, you have to have a notch cut out. Now, I do have a screwdriver in one of my boxes um, that I had actually made into one of those screwdrivers for a prior coffee pot that I had to take apart. We when we lived in Mount Vernon, we had had a coffee pot poop the bed, and so if you had watched that video that I made about how you can use a coffee pot, without power by heating the plate, um, I showed the thermal fuse that's in there, and said that most of the time when your coffee pot breaks and won't heat up, that's all you have to replace. I mean, they're less than $1. You can buy one of them, but you're better off buying like 5 or 10 or 25 of them off of Amazon for cheap. They're not expensive, but and most of them are about the same size, to be honest. Um, but uh, instead, I had to giggle because I pulled out my iFixit set that I got from CountyCom, in which that little set has most of the security or safety or whatever the tamper-proof screws. It's got most of the different bits for those. So, and of course, that one's certainly in there. And there's some that's in there that's kind of, you don't see them very often, that's for sure. And I was really shocked to see them in that set. But anyway, so I yanked the coffee pot apart, cleaned it up, put it back together. Well, in the middle of that, neighbor calls and or messages me and needed a little hand with her dishwasher. So I went over there and helped her with it. It had I guess it had a clog initially, and then she got something stuck in it trying to clean it out. So I went over there and pulled it out from the counter and laid it on its side where I could get to everything and work with everything. And it's got a whatever they it's basically like a garbage disposal. I forget what she called it, a food chopper or something. I don't know what the technical term is for it, but that's kind of what it is. A very piss poor um, example of a garbage disposal because the teeth were plastic. So anyway, not anything real big could get in there, but real big doesn't matter. Something real hard certainly could. Wouldn't do too good on that. But nonetheless, I popped that off, in which we could get everything cleared and everything was good. And popped it all back together, slid it back in place, screwed the screws back in, and fired it up, and it works fine. So got that taken care of. And then kind of had an interesting thing, and I'm going to talk about this because I think it's a great example of what I have been trying to get across to folks multiple times. I have said on on this show that one good way to find like-minded individuals is in local town groups, and if there's not one that you would feel comfortable discussing that stuff in, make your own. Um, Fortunately, I had made a town group, and it's gotten fairly big. I don't want to say the word popularity or popular because it's not a popularity contest. If that's the mindset people go at it with, then in my eyes, you failed from the start because it shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about you. It should be about them. And so anyway, uh, a gentleman had posted in there with a question. I'm not going to divulge any information, but the question was pretty specific, and uh, I picked up on it, we'll say. And so I went and I kind of checked out the dude's profile, and clearly he was like-minded. And so, yeah, I made contact, just like I tell y'all to do. Um, make contact because those people that's around you, those are the people that's important. You know, it's one of the reasons why I get such a giggle, and I literally mean a giggle, at this whole Prepper Club thing on YouTube because it's a fallacy. Because when that doo-doo hits that spinning oscillator, that club's not going to be there. Plain and simple. And if people would invest the same amount of time with the people that they're going to be around, instead of trying to find out what cool new gadgets they can get for their AR-15, maybe they could make some progress. There's a whole lot of people that I see in YouTube chats and comments, and I can't find anybody. I can't find. Well, where are you putting your effort? Where are you putting your time? That is the question. Because I see far too many people worried about, and this kind of segues in what we're going to talk about, more worried about how to kill people than what they are trying to figure out how they could help people. And I guarantee you, your life expectancy is going to be, in most cases, a hell of a lot longer if you're more focused on trying to help people than trying to hurt people. I've got a book cover up there on the wall, and I've done a little bit of self-reflection and self-analyzation because I do this all the time. I'm my biggest critic, I'm telling you. And so I'd ask myself the question. Here I am, just a little over halfway through book 12 by Angry American, Exploring Home. And I don't want to stop reading it. I don't want to stop. Um, I love the man's way with words. I love how he lays everything out. But as I've said many times, there's a lot of fantasy there in those novels. And so you really have to take stock in that and understand that as you're reading. It is a book. It is a fiction novel. It's for your entertainment, and it should be entertaining. But we don't want to go too far, like with the movie mindset and thinking like that SHTF is going to be like The Walking Dead. It's not. And I I had to ask myself, well, why is it? What is it that what keeps me going back to that? And the answer is rebuilding. because the entire time, they're rebuilding. It's not, yeah, there's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of shootout. Sure there is. Again, it's a novel. It's entertainment. Yes, in reality, that stuff will happen. But there is a whole hell of a lot of content out there, whether it be in a reading form, whether it be in video form, a lot of content out there about violence. Not hard to find at all. But what there's not is a whole lot on rebuilding. And I think out of all of the authors that I've read, and I'm talking all of them, including William Forstchen. I mean, I've read quite a few different authors' books when it comes to SHTF. Hands down, Angry Americans series here goes far above and beyond any other series when it comes to rebuilding, and that is why I think I love it so much. Plus, I love the main character. I was disappointed, and this is my fault. This is my fault. I was disappointed because I wanted so much for the author to be like his main character, right? And he's not. And I wanted so much for that, and that's probably all on me. But I do identify quite a bit. I mean, there's a lot of differences as in our types of intellect. Like Morgan knows a lot about wild edible plants and stuff like that. I'm not well versed in that particular area. But there's a whole hell of a lot of areas that I'm well versed in Morgan isn't. And but as far as his attitude, his way about going about things, his honesty, his fairness, his uh, he's a fair, equal, honest person. And he the book, the character in the book really truly does remind me a whole hell of a lot of myself. And I know a lot of people will make claims to be that kind of person. But I just the only thing I can tell people is just look at my actions. That's all I can tell you. I run a town group. I'm not going to run anybody off because of their political opinion or because of whatever, their social opinion. I'm not going to run them off. They're safe there. Um, there is only one thing that I had put my foot down and no, absolutely not. And I'm sorry whether it's right or wrong in a fairness, equal sense, but I am not going to let that trans stuff. What was going on is, I guess, um, in a town not real far from here, I guess they're hosting, what do you call it when men dress up as women? Help me out, babe. When men dress up as women, not the trans, but when they just dress like them. Not when I don't think they try to live like them. Dang it, I can't remember. It's the most stupid word that should be right at the top of my head, top of my tongue, tip of my tongue, something. I need to quit spoken tonight. That's what my problems with my spoken. Anyway, uh, I couldn't do that. No, I couldn't do that. I guess they were hosting. I don't know. I think there was a lodge or something. A couple of towns away, they were hosting an event, and a homie can't play that. Sorry. There is a lot of room I have for people to discuss stuff, but no, not on my watch. Not on my watch. They are not gonna. What they wanted to do was promote the event. No, not there on my watch. I can't do that. And I am actually, even right now, Uh, I admonish myself for that. I am really hard on myself for that because I feel like I'm taking the wrong stance there. But it's just something that I can't get past. I just can't get drag queen, duh. I just can't get past it. And I'll be damned if I have any involvement in any way, shape, or form to do with children being subjected to stuff like that. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. So that is the one thing that there has been a hard no. But other than that, I don't give a damn. I've got the option open that if you want to post anonymously, go right ahead. There's one damn thing for sure. There better be some type of legal requirement for me to turn over a name to anybody that posts anonymously. I hate gossip. As such, nobody that is in the gossip realm speaks to me. And because I like shove gossip up people's asses. And I despise it. But I pretty much I don't, as long as people aren't trying to harm others, I don't care. And the group, and I can't remember exactly when we started it. I don't know. I think it's been over. I know it's been over a year. I don't know when I started it for sure. Um, but I'm impressed. We're right at 3,000 members right now. So which is not bad. I can't complain about that. Um, and like I say, it's been really, really good. I'm gonna have to take a peek. I'm trying to get a hold of this stupid. Howdy, Steve. I hear ya.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Just woke up. Sorry.
You
That
are
was
fine, sir.
crazy
I,
dreams. Oh,
oh
come on.
yeah. I,
Never mind. I just tease. I hate that. I really hate that. Just give me the lottery numbers, would you? You know?
right.
Yeah.
I hear ya. I definitely hear you there.
And then the world's in trouble. Well, uh, more or less.
Well, yeah, the world's in trouble. You know why the world's in trouble, don't you?
They haven't seen the real trouble
Oh,
coming quick.
there's a very, 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 very specific reason why the world is in trouble.
Okay.
It's because, man, Zelensky needs F-18s.
Well, hey,
But the
didn't
world's
they?
in trouble, man. We're gonna die.
Well, I thought he's going to get F-35. So there was one on the crashed on the ground. Yeah, we'll just set those boys right. Well, I thought really no, actually they were going to give F-16s.
yes, yes,
Of course, you
and
just
there's
hop
and
right.
there's
You just
they're still on for that,
transition from a Piper Cub to an F-16.
right?
Hey,
Well, yeah,
what the
why
hell?
not? It's not much different. I
Or
mean, you hit
those
the
oh, those aerial what are those fan parasails? Jump right in there. Don't touch the button on the
yeah.
stick.
Just paint the starter button red and let them have it.
That's right.
They'll be good, right? As long as they know the button to press to start, they'll be good.
Well, I like that deal. The Century says where they were selling these fighter planes to these two tribal groups or something, and he says, "Well, what about the training program, the pilots?" He says, "No, they roll them into each other. Is how they fight with them."
I trying to scroll down here because yikes, there's a lot of pictures. I was trying to scroll down to our very, very, very first picture, but geez, that would take yikes. Hang on.
Pictures of you,
No, the group.
the group. What
Yeah,
group?
our local group. I was telling folks about the local group.
I mean, like
I
a
don't know.
band?
No. It's a Facebook group.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you have a group picture of the Facebook group?
Well, no, I'm looking for. Okay, what I'm looking for is the first picture I uploaded
Oh,
to our Facebook group, so I know how long we've had it open.
well, let me look at your file.
Uh-oh.
You you
This
you put
goes
up a
on
lot.
your
You put
permanent
up
record.
Yeah, you put up a lot of stuff.
Well, I don't hear, but I barely even say much here. Community roles, growth, engagement. Maybe engagement might let me go back all the way. Oh, maybe not. Well, crap. Man, how do you know how long you've been in a frickin' had a Facebook group membership?
The
Oh,
shadow knows.
wait. I know. Duh. Wait a minute. Why is that like?
Go on your personal page.
Well, it's not
Your
my personal
yeah.
page. The town's page. And all I got to do is look myself up. I'm a tard.
Just Google it.
It says
Everything you'd
about
want
2
to
years
know.
ago. It says
2 years ago.
yeah, about 2 years ago. So yeah, I didn't know if it was getting close to 2 years or not. Sorry I took so long to check into that, folks. But yeah, about 2 years. We're currently at 2,988 members. So growing. Our town is only a little under 10,000 population, so it's growing. I would tell you how many people's in the other groups, but I'm banned from them. So it is what it is. The reason I got banned from them was because I started this group, and I guess it hurt their feelings, and so they couldn't handle it. I guess I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. I wasn't trying to compete. I was just trying to give somebody or give people a place where they wouldn't have their stuff deleted because it didn't fit under the purview of the millennial nanny. That's what I called her. That was after I got banned. I got banned first, then I called her a millennial nanny because she is. She acts like it. I have no idea how old she is. But I know how old she acts. Okay. Well, I didn't do it. But anyway, so as I was talking about that book, highly recommend the series. I couldn't tell you. I think the status of that particular book right now is if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free. I couldn't tell you the status on the other 11 books in the series as to their Kindle Unlimited status. So I'm pretty sure you'll probably find, I would almost bet that most of them are probably on Kindle Unlimited. There may be a couple they don't have on there. I don't know. I haven't looked in forever, so um, I forgot where he was when I started, either 9 or 10 when I started reading his books. I believe like 9 or 10 is where he was at in his books. Okay, I reckon 9:30 we can do a little bit of news. But what I was talking about essentially, just to bring everything home, folks really need to focus on building, not destroying. Um, Now when I say this, it's in a sense, fighting is not the hard part, and it's not. It's the dangerous part, of course, but it's not necessarily the hard part. The hard part is rebuilding. And it takes a lot. It takes the right combination of the right things in leaders and in order to be able to facilitate that rebuilding. Somebody out there that just had just the ego that they got it all, they can do it all, they ain't gonna pan out so well. And I know a lot of people might think I give off that attitude. That is not the case. Um, I am locally part of a large group. Um, there are absolutely people in charge in every aspect of it. Um, there's no way I could do it all. I couldn't even begin to do it all. And in fact, when you look at the big picture, my role, in a sense, is kind of small. It's important, but it's small. But there is a lot of time and effort put towards being able to rebuild, not being able to destroy. People just stack and stack and stack and stack the ammo. And yeah, you damn right you need enough. You damn right you need enough. But don't focus on the fight, because that fight's not going to be there like the movies show you. That fight ain't going to be there like the social media influencers try to scare you. It's not. And if you live in a place that it is, it's going to be that way. And believe me, there's tons of places that it is. Then you need to be out of that place, whether it be permanently or for a bug out plan of some kind. But don't just plan to bug out to the woods. That's not a plan. I can't even. I've heard people that should know better than that kind of nonsense tell me that. Well, I'll just head to the woods. People that should know better. Um, work more on that rebuilding, because that's where it's at. And that's where you're going to build strength. You do not build strength by having a group of just 15 or 20 people hiding out in your bug out shelter with your box of crackers, as I joke about all the time. That's not going to do anybody any good, including yourself, because you're going to run out of crackers eventually. And anybody that is around when you come popping up out of your hole, I've said this before, they're not going to be very happy that they struggled the entire time while you were downstairs eating crackers, and now you want their help because you ran out of crackers after they fought for a year and a half, 2 years in order to get to where they are. They're not going to be happy about that. People watch too much TV. That's all I can say. People watch too much TV. There's a whole lot of places in our country to where there's not just going to be an unbelievable onslaught of violence throughout every single street in every single city, and oh my goodness, we're all going to die. I see the question, Steve. I don't know or I see your question mark. But that's the mindset. They want you to think that it's going to be like saltines. The mindset that they want you to have. And that's for most people, thank goodness that's not the case. Now, don't get me wrong. There is going to be sticky spots everywhere, namely where there's stores. You know, once people figure it out that things ain't gonna be normal, I mean, really, really not normal, they're gonna hit that store. And I don't care how calm of a town that you live in, there's probably gonna be a rather high level of violence at that store. But if you're into preparedness, my first question is, what the hell are you doing there then? Because you should be prepared not to go. It's not worth that trip. It is not worth that trip. So you have to use common sense. But to think that on every single one of our streets in this town that there is going to be just an onslaught of violence just everywhere, just ransacked like an army running through the whole town. Oh my God. Ah! No, it's not. People need to get a grip. People need to get a grip. It's not how it's going to roll out. It's going to be a lot of neighbors standing out in their yard at first going, what the hell is going on? That's how it's going to start out, not the freaking band of armed bandits with the. Whatever, make up something stupid. That's what I was reaching for. You know, again, that's movie, TV crapola that the prepper channels just love to spew. Cracks me up. It's going to start out with neighbors standing, and I'm talking places like where I live. Okay, I'm not talking in New York City. If you're in New York City, what the is wrong with you? Um, it's going to start out neighbors talking to one another. Your power go out too? Does your cell phone work or whatever the case may? That's how it's going to start out. So you've got two choices there after you get done talking to your neighbor. You can go back inside. You can deadbolt the doors. You, I don't know. Pick a bunch of stupid stuff that you can do to get ready for the alpaca lips, and then you're sitting there eating your saltine crackers because Steve likes the brand name, and you're sitting there eating your saltine crackers down in your little hidey hole, and it to me it really does sound that stupid. It really does sound that stupid. Look, your neighbor don't have to know what you have. Just because you talk to somebody doesn't mean, the gentleman I spoke with today that moved here to town, that I was talking about speaking to him in the group. I didn't even tell him about the group that's already here. He mentioned the group, it'd be a good idea to have a mag. But for one, we're not taking anybody in, period. That's a hard thing that's been set since 2013. As far as our core group, we're good. Now, we at all aren't proposed to other groups. And if so, other groups can get formed up that we can stay in communication with and work with in order to take care of a larger area. Absolutely. What was that I was saying about one person can't do it all? Well, neither can one group. Neither can one group. It's a big difference than watching movies and TV series and all that nonsense and approaching it with the mindset from what you just watched. And it's a totally different thing approaching it from a completely tactical mindset and from a mindset that you're going to invoke change. And when I say change, I mean that in a positive way. In a positive way. If people would focus more on how they're going to fix things, on how they're going to build back after the collapse, they focus more on that now, it will be much easier to make that transition. But I don't think a lot of people are looking at that. They're looking at how to best shoot other people. That's their main focus. That's their main motivation. And that's going to get you nothing but in the same place of the people that you put. At some point, your card to be called. At some point, all of our cards will be called. But it's kind of foolish to go out begging for it. And if you just shoot at everything that frickin' moves in your AO, you're begging for it. You are damn sure begging for it. But I know it's not like that in the movies. And it won't happen to me. I know. I know the mindset. Anyway, let's do a little bit of news. Let me have a sip of coffee here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I reckon I can bring you along for the trip. Blink. And it'll load in just a moment. Blink. Where's Rabbi, you mean? I'm not sure where Rabbi is. Oh my God, I died last night when he came. That was so freaking hilarious. Let's see. Man, everything's cocked. Hang on, let me recenter my screen here. It says it's centered. I don't know how that is. That is not centered. My desk needs redrawn. Anywho, Pentagon threatens Americans over Ukraine, says Tucker Carlson. Oops, let me make sure. Let me get over here. Okay. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin reportedly told members of Congress that unless they approve more funding to Ukraine, Americans will be sent to fight Russia directly, former Fox News host Tucker Carlson said on Thursday. According to Carlson, Austin spoke at a classified briefing for members of the House of Representatives on Wednesday, and at one point told members that we'll send your uncles, cousins, and sons to fight Russia unless Kiev gets the $60 billion in aid requested by the White House. The Biden administration is openly threatening Americans over Ukraine, said Carlson said on X, summarizing Austin's message as pay the oligarchs or we'll kill your kids. He really said this, asked X owner Elon Musk. He really did, confirmed Carlson replied. Carlson was by far the most popular host of an evening talk show on cable TV when Fox News mysteriously chose to part ways with him in April. He has since speculated that its corporate owners really didn't like some of his coverage that challenged official narratives. In May, he launched his own show on Musk's platform in a format similar to his long-form interviews for Fox. So, yeah, but you know why they're threatening us, right? Me and Steve had this discussion when he first came in. It's because now they need F-18s and Apaches and Blackhawks and THAAD systems. Just where's Santa at, right? Come on, Santa. Santa Joe. Ukrainians formally request F-18 fighters, Apache helicopters, Black Hawk, and THAAD. So if you haven't been paying attention to how this works, You have a bunch of people in Congress. They raise a bunch of hell. I mean, they not really, but I mean, in the media, they act like they raise hell. No, we're not going to follow this. No, we're not going to follow this. And then, Zelensky goes over there. You're winning F-18s, right? And then usually it doesn't take too long, and somehow, regardless of the people that were bickering and say, "Oh hell no," they send them over the stuff. And well, let's just be quite frank. It's nothing but a shit show. That's all it is. These people are not opposition in Congress. There's no damned way these people are opposition in Congress. With some of the stuff that gets let through, come on. Come on. No way. No way. So, just wanted to kind of show you a little bit, just run up this here real quick. I've got one article from it that I do want to show you. This is crazy. IDF forces arrest dozens of Palestinians in Gaza, surrender naked and squatting in the street. Yeah, because that's okay to do. China are having a party in the U.S. backyard. Listen to this. And actually, I've got this article up. I forgot about this one. I do have this one up. Venezuela is proceeding with the full annexation of half of Guyana. We're going to get to that. Apparently, we're going to jointly produce 155 millimeter artillery shells with U.S. companies. So, I mean, you might as well, if you're shipping them all over there, you might as well make them there, right? If we're going to pay for it, you might as well just make them there. Let's see. The Ospreys have been grounded. Apparently, there was an interesting engagement with Russian aircraft and some French aircraft. Apparently, the son of the former IDF chief fell on the battlefield. Putin saying that Russia will create a truly democratic model for the world. Hang on here. Let's see. Okay. Let's go ahead and move to the article. Russia and China are having a party in the U.S. backyard. Venezuela is proceeding with a full annexation of half of Guyana. Now, I thought there was another article I had open, and I clearly don't see it. But apparently, I will tell you about it. Apparently now, some officials in Russia are starting to talk about the complete annexation of Ukraine. That's the first ever, as far as in any official capacity, that anything of the sort has been said. So I do want to make sure to say that it is in the news that officials, I don't know that Putin himself has said it, but apparently a high-level official in Russia has said that I guess they're going to look at, I forget if he said the word referendum or whatnot, but yeah, pretty much the same thing that they did with Crimea and stuff like that. I guess they're tossing up the idea of doing that with all of Ukraine. So we'll see, right? Hang on. However, more over towards Venezuela and Brazil and all that stuff. It says, despite international backlash, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says he will go ahead with plans to seize Essequibo, the oil-rich region that belongs to neighboring Guyana. He even ordered, as reported by the BBC, the state oil company to issue mining licenses in the area while also proposing to the National Assembly to vote on a bill making the area part of Venezuela. Venezuelan citizens on Sunday, pardon me, approved a referendum with a percentage of more than 95% of the claim of rights in Essequibo, increasing tension, although only 10% of the electorate voted. Essequibo's bid had widespread support in the country. Meanwhile, Guyana has put its defense forces on high alert. In a Facebook message, Guyana's President Irfan Ali said he had spoken with the UN Secretary General and asked the UN Security Council to consider intervention. This is a direct threat to the territorial integrity, sovereignty, and political independence of Guyana. Guyana considers it an immediate threat and will intensify preventative measures to protect its territory. He points out, also tried to reassure the investors in the country, and mainly the oil companies, that their money is safe. So we'll see what's going to happen there. Interesting, huh? Again, I can't tell you with any certainty at all if these countries are truly working against one another or if there is a bunch of wheeling and dealing going on between the large countries over the smaller countries. Because I have a sneaky suspicion that there's been a lot of that going on. So anyway, and this is the last tab I have open. Shut crypto down, says Jamie Dimon. Well, bite me, Jamie Dimon. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. So, and I'm not a crypto person. I'm not personally, I'm not good with doing anything with it personally. Um, nah, I'm good. I don't, I don't even want to be anywhere near even the thought of dabbling with something like that if I'm not supposed to. And I mean, as far as biblically, and I'm not so sure that's okay as far as the crypto thing. Not so sure that's okay. I think maybe that's walking an awful thin rope. Just my thoughts. Not necessarily about what it is now, but what it will become to be. So I would say it'd probably be in our best interests spiritually if we abstained from any of that. Just saying. Just saying. You're talking to the guy that damn sure isn't gonna be assigned a real ID. They can kiss my ass. Let's see. Let me pop this off for a little bit just to get the screen resituated. Okay. But yeah. I have a couple of vapes and then we'll run through some headlines. And like I'm looking at a headline here. You probably already heard it a ton of times, but Russia could attack NATO, says Biden. And now, yesterday, I would have said, nah, nah, and been pretty confident about it. Hang on, let me blow my nose. Don't worry, I'll mute. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, yesterday I'd have been pretty confident that he wouldn't do anything of the sort. Today I'm not so sure. Not after that's coming out about annexing all of Ukraine. I don't know. I don't know. And there again, you have to ask the question, would Russia be doing that if the U.S. wouldn't have made it so much more inconvenient? I don't know how to word it. Um, you know, whole hell of a lot of lives and money would have been saved by just letting Zelensky go to the diplomacy table in the beginning. But the U.S. wouldn't allow that. The U.S. still won't allow that. And so tax dollars can go to keep fighting that. But anyway, go back up. Okay. Man, this is all crooked, and it says I'm good, but I ain't good. Let's see. Gauge in school, a sign of looming doomsday, says U.S. House Speaker. Majority in EU expect living standards to fall in 2024, says a poll. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the whole planet's going to be falling in living standards. Russian oil exports yielding more revenue before Ukraine conflict. Ukraine, well, I talked about that in the other article. Ukraine reveals new weapons wish list, says Reuters. Same thing as I talked about earlier, the F-18s and such. Russia could attack NATO, says Biden. I already mentioned that. Moscow rejects U.S. narrative on aid for Kiev. Official date for Russian presidential election set. A 14-year-old schoolgirl kills classmate and takes her own life in Russia. Speaking of that, I forgot to do a follow-up. I was going to do a follow-up into that cat that shot people up. Where the hell was that? Ah, hell, I can't remember even remotely where that was. Do you? Yesterday. Las Vegas. University of Las Vegas. That's where it was. UNLV shooting. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even look up on this at all. Here's the victim. 4 hours ago, 28 minutes ago, an hour ago, 17 hours ago. I'm just trying to find one that's gonna have new information. The victims have been identified. Che Jian Cheng, and I don't know if I said that correctly, 64, a professor at the university. Patricia Navarro Velez, 39, an assistant professor. Chang, who is also known as Jerry, died from a gunshot wound to the head. Velez died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds, the medical examiner said. Authorities have identified the third deceased victim, but are waiting to notify the next of kin, according to two law enforcement sources. The third victim was also not a student. So apparently the person was going after staff. Fourth wounded victim, 38-year-old male visiting professor, remains in the hospital. Let's see, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Sheriff Kevin McMahell, damn, said in a news conference Thursday afternoon. McMahell identified the shooter as 67-year-old Anthony Polito. Shooter was a longtime business professor who sought a professor position at the University of Nevada at Las Vegas and was denied. He had applied numerous times for jobs at multiple Nevada colleges and was denied each time. According to police, shooter arrived on the UNLV campus around 11:28 a.m. in a 2007 Lexus armed with a Taurus 9mm handgun he purchased legally in 2022 and 11 magazines, which he had in carriers, strapped to his body. McMahill said police are not sure exactly how many rounds were fired, but 9 loaded magazines were recovered after the shooting. So, crazy. I mean, the guy, that is wild. Let me see if it says anything. Huh. Yeah. I guess this guy just lost it. I don't know if for any reason the victims were particularly chosen or what, but interesting. Zelensky's incompetence ruined Kiev's leverage, says exiled opposition leader. China warns U.S. to keep out of its affairs. Russia-China trade hits all-time high. A Ukrainian sabotage op middleman arrested in Russia, says FSB. A convicted gang rapist in Germany appealed despite being spared prison. Let's see. Ex-Soviet state announces early presidential election. Russia will post 3.5% economic growth for 2023, says Putin. Hang on. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was okay. Sorry, that group does take if there's something that I need to check out, it will take precedence over the show, because I mean, just in case. Somebody was just commenting on one of the posts from earlier, and I thought the notification said that it was a comment on my post. It wasn't, but nonetheless, continuing on. Let's see. Kremlin explains why fighter jets escorted Putin's flight to the Middle East. Why would anybody even ask why fighter jets escorted his plane? I thought fighter jets always escorted the planes. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I'm pretty sure Biden don't go flying over to Europe without any military around. You know what I mean? I don't think so. Iranian president arrives in Moscow. Russian intel chief warns U.S. of second Vietnam. Putin says Russia is open for business. U.S. exploits its allies, says Putin. China tells EU to talk to Russia. Kremlin comments on Bryansk school shooting. Italy confirms exit from China's Belt and Road. Dominance of Western banks will end, says Putin. Guyanese military helicopter missing near Venezuelan border. I don't know if they ever got to the bottom of that. Apparently there was inclement weather, from my understanding, so doesn't necessarily mean there was foul play. Or it doesn't mean that there wasn't either. Let's see them try to call Russia a gas station, says Putin. U.S. must prevent Chinese century, says a Trump rival. Trump will leave NATO, says ex-Pentagon chief. FSB detains man accused of Siberian train bombing. Spain discreetly expels 2 U.S. embassy staff, says El Pais. Russian businessman responds to $7 million U.S. bounty. Russia and Iran building momentum in relations, says Putin. Russia hacked British politicians and journalists, the minister claims. U.S. to help Ukraine transition, says the White House. EU country bans Quran burning. Tensions escalating in the Arctic, says top Russian admiral. Facebook and Instagram enabled child trafficking, says a lawsuit. Middle East royal calls for end to Western dominance. A Saudi prince dies in a plane crash, says the media. I guess it was a military plane. I guess it was a training flight. The man was, I believe the article said, 62 years old. And, you know, at first you read the headline, you think Saudi prince, yada, 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 right? I didn't think. And I got 62 years old and training, flying a military plane. Right on. Right on. I'm sorry that, my condolences that he passed. But the fact that somebody, a prince, is taking that role upon themselves, I got nothing but respect for that. Ukraine declares power emergency. Biden approval rating hits a new low. That's not news. Russian troops capture German Leopard and U.S. Bradley. U.S. can't give Ukraine guarantees, says the White House. Hey, the only one that gets guarantees around here is the big guy. We all know that. Pentagon threatens Americans over Ukraine, says, I spoke upon that. I don't know if there's anything more. More. No more. Yay. 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 Okay, I gotta shrink that thing. That thing annoys the hell out of me. But anyway. And my table's all crooked. If I was gonna sit straight at my desk, I would have to sit like this. And I'm not sure how that looks. Yeah. I don't, and you should be able to do this and recenter. And nada. Doesn't do a thing. So, oh well. I'll sit here and vape and bitch and moan. No. You over there, Steve? Don't make me throw my pen at you, even though nobody would see me throwing a pen at you.
I'm
What's
here.
up?
I'm
What's
here.
up?
Had to get my button pushed. I
Did I?
gotta leave it shut off and let you do the show. Otherwise,
Well, I wasn't trying to push your button.
Oh,
I'm just kidding you. I'm messing with you, Steve.
that might not be good.
So how you feeling today?
Oh, well, I hurt from my ankles to my shoulders. Other than that,
Well,
hey,
I mean,
good
that's not your whole body, though. I mean, look at the bright side.
Yeah.
Does it hurt to blink?
Okay.
I hear you, man.
That fixes everything, doesn't it?
Man.
Hey,
Oh,
check your email.
Oh, yeah?
Can you? Yeah, you got breaking news. Something I'm sure you'll be interested in.
Oh, wow. Hunter Biden indicted on 9 tax-related charges.
Yeah.
3 felonies. Did this just come in?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
Interesting.
getting ready to dump old pops, aren't they?
You think?
Joe, boy,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
everybody's working so hard to get rid of. I don't want him gone. I would leave him in there.
Yeah. You think?
Hell yes. Let's do this again. We'll see how, Trump may not Trump may not win, but he'll have 110 million votes, and
Right.
Biden have 110,01.
Right.
God. Oh. Now then we can get down to business.
Yep.
The real deal. Let's
Yep.
It's showtime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Did Jen
I
disappear?
do what?
Did Jen disappear?
Nope, she's over here.
Well, okay.
Oh man. Yeah, I was hoping the rabbi would show up again.
Ribeye?
The ribeye.
Ribeye.
Yeah, the ribeye.
Ribeye. God. He,
Rabbi ribeye.
he's pretty good. It shows up with it. Yeah.
Oh man, I died. I died. That was so hilarious.
They come next time as a humas.
A Buddhist or something.
With the bandoleros on and his automatic, his AK, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Lay that down on the desk. Now it's
Oh man. Yeah. I am glad it's my Friday.
oh yeah, it is.
Tomorrow I've got, I guess, 3 goals, damn it.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah. Well, and even before that, uh I gotta work in the grow tent. I wanna mulch the leaves tomorrow that's in the yard. And damn it, I want to do some flying in the flight sim. So, or either that or learn how to shoot people in DCS, one of the two.
Hey, I was gonna ask you, do you know what do you know what a Mooney mite is?
A Mooney Mite? No,
Yeah, Mooney aircraft.
I know
Mooney mite.
Mooney, but I know like the
Yeah,
20R.
yeah. This is his first one that he Mooney did, and it started in Wichita, but uh, in fact, they've got one in Wichita at the Air Museum there. First time I'd gotten to see one this year, a number of years ago, but cute little single place, and it's small.
Oh wow.
Retract gear and the whole works. It'd
Hmm.
go about 125 miles an hour on a. He was big on getting the maximum performance out of small engines, and
Mm-hmm.
can't remember what horsepower. Oh, it was a Crosley. The old it was a car named Crosley, and they used a little engine out of it, which was,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I think it's like 27 horsepower. The thing would clock 100 miles an hour. So,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
they're really, they're really neat.
You
There's
telling me that my ultralight had more horsepower than that?
probably, if I recall,
Wow.
I just watched a deal on it. That's how I can remember this right now. But I'd never forgot. When I was down there, I'd never, I said, "Wow, what is this?" And it was they're called Mooney mites. There's a Mooney mite club, stuff like that. Still got them flying. I think it's
How
done.
is it just MITE?
Yeah, Mooney mites, what they call them. It was a little deal. It was about 12 minutes long on YouTube there that kind of went through the story of that. I can't remember how many he built. He wanted to get a production line going, but never did.
So he's got the same kind of design like his M20R with the straight tail? Yeah.
Yeah, Yep.
I
Yeah,
like
he
that.
just the one, and he went to a bigger pasture and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's kind of the similar design. He just made them bigger.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that M20R. That thing's a sweetheart to fly in the sim. I like it.
Okay. Can you
Yeah.
fly the space shuttle?
I'm sure they've got it on
Okay.
flightsim.to. I'm sure they've got a download for the space shuttle, but yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I'm sure it's probably there. It's not in the sim natively though. No, no. They do give us a lot of cool aircraft in the sim natively though. Wow. Yeah, I like that. I like that little plane. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is neat. I mean, it looks pretty big on there, but sitting there on the floor in Wichita, uh, well, they made the old airport
Mm-hmm.
uh, into a air museum, and went in uh, what have you reconditioned the thing, the the building, all the paintwork and stuff like that was. But I remembered it from when I was, and the reason I know the date, I was like 2 years old, because they shut that down and the Air Force took it over, and there was a date, and so it had to be before that. But when you're little like that, you notice what I remembered was the floor, and there's this big compass, done in marble and brass on the floor with it's like a 6-point compass or whatever, north, south, east, west on it. But I just, when I went to the museum, I wanted to see, well, did I remember that right? Because I remember that, and I sure did.
Well, did that Crosley engine, was it an air cooled? Did it look a lot like a VW
Yeah,
engine? Okay.
yeah, it was. Let me, gosh, now you're testing me here. Yeah, I think
Four
it's made out.
cylinder opposed shaft. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm seeing on it. It's a four
W-
cylinder opposed shaft
Well,
engine.
was it? Okay, it wasn't an inline, huh?
No.
Because it looked like an inline on the picture he had. But yeah, you might
All of
look.
them
I don't know.
all of them that I see look like they have VW engines.
Oh well, he went from that because the Crosley was unreliable, and
Okay.
went to a 4 times bigger place, 125 horse Lycoming, I think, or then he went to a Continental on it. So I mean, he
Okay.
had some pretty big horsepower for that. I mean, this thing is small. I mean, I don't even know if I could get into it now as much as I weigh and everything. It was really built small. Of course, back then, we were all skinny people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, that's the way my ultralight was. I mean, it was tight in there. I like that though because it cradled you well.
yeah,
I didn't like the idea of crashing though and being all cramped up. Not that not being cramped up is going to do me any good. I mean, I'm pretty
well,
sure when you smack the ground, it's going to be the same either way.
well, yeah, it depends. But even putting them belly in or something, that aluminum can. It's like taking a beer can or something and crush it in your hand. It stuff's all over you.
Right,
Trying
right.
to trying to get out of the damn thing.
Oh yeah, and well, mine in particular, yeah, that wouldn't have been fun because if you hit the ground hard, first of all, yeah, that gear is going to fold right up, and there's a header tank that's probably going to be coming at you. That's right behind the seat, and then just because of the design of the aircraft, if the structure did give, you'd have a 36-foot wing coming down at you because your big wing was above and behind you, your main wing, because it was a canard style aircraft. So, yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, is that you mean like the one you were? What was this like? You were building one. You sent me
yeah,
pictures of that one time, and it was canard, I believe.
yeah. I'm just looking one up. I'm not digging for my pictures. um, do do do. Me share. Uh, ah, oh, of course, Aerosoft's page. That sucks that they won't fix that for the flight sim. I'm trying to get the picture. Why is it so hard just to get a damn picture? And back here again. Damn it.
Here, I'll send you the deal I watched. I think it was like wasn't very long.
Hang on. Gotta get this stupid thing out of the way so I can move this. Nah. I'm just trying to get to that one picture that one guy had. Any of them would be good, but damn it. Um. Here we go. I'll get there now. There we go. There's a picture of it. If you can see it, it's kind of small.
Okay, just a moment. I'm
And I don't know. That might have been one of them, and that might have been the one that I almost bought. I'm not positive. That actually might be
let
the
me
one I
see.
almost bought.
Oh, no, that
Oops.
you were building a different one. I think maybe you weren't. I don't know. You had one that was red and white or something.
Yeah, mine was red and silver
Okay,
and black.
and
Yeah,
it was like this.
yeah. It was. Yeah, it was a American Airlight Falcon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Here, let me unshare real quick. Let me get to the right place. Photos, albums, login in progress. And share. Okay. Oh, for people watching, well, there we go. Let me get my mouse back over here if I can find it. There it is. I don't have the only picture I have. What mine would look like together is out of the flight simulator FSX. That is exactly how mine would have looked all together.
Okay, just a moment. Oh, yeah. Huh.
So that was exactly how mine looked. And I mean, in real life, there's a fuselage that's in my front yard. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. Yeah, remember it was really, it was really slick. The one, and I don't have a lot of those. I was trying to clear out my email, so Microsoft, they're clipping me for $1.99 now for my email account, and it's tough to get rid of enough.
I
They
hear
under
you.
a certain number. I mean, so I said,
Right.
well, I hate to do this, but yours, and so I brought your name up and took those out, and then just different whatever started taking people out. But it was in the several thousands I needed to
I hear you.
eliminate. But
Yeah,
remember,
that was
it
my
was really
van I had. Oh,
cool.
yep.
What's it say? Spring Valley?
Yeah, that I had nothing to do with. That didn't have anything to do with how that van looked. I bought that van like that. It was a stock car, a guy that raced stock cars, and it was the van that he used to pull the stock car trailer
Oh,
with. So,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
it was the right price kind of deal, and I loved it.
yeah,
I thought it looked kick ass myself. So,
yeah.
but here's my engine.
There you go.
I'll have you know, I modified that engine to push out a whole 30 horsepower.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Just a
What?
single
What?
cylinder, huh?
Go ahead. What brand is it?
It's a Rotax 277.
Okay.
Single cylinder Rotax 277.
I'm trying to think. One of them is that one little Randy. Oh, I flew a number of times. It was one of their first Coyotes that he built, and it seemed like it had a 29 horsepower engine.
That was my panel. I even had
Yeah,
gear indicator lights for my front retractable gear. I had indicator lights.
he had a front
Because it's
retractable gear.
because it's too hard to look between your legs and see if you've got the green peg on or the red peg on. You know what I mean? It's because that's
What
all the
about
gear was.
the
It was.
main gear? What they
Oh,
didn't
that
go up,
stayed
did they?
down. No, 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 not the main gear.
Okay,
Yeah.
really sped it up, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if I got a picture of the way the gear is. I kind of doubt it, but there's a couple of little tubes, aluminum tubes down there, and you've got a peg on your stick. There's a peg
Yeah.
that's a metal peg sticking out of your stick, and you pull up, red for gear up and green for gear down, and you just put the peg on that little metal, and that's your gear. So good luck.
Hey, I sent you that. I mean, this is 14 minutes. Kind of cool though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll watch. I'm
Them,
not going to watch it right now on the show. I'm
no,
actually going
that's.
to get heading.
But they are. I mean, it's.
Let me pop that
I
off.
guess is Mooney still in business, or do you know?
I have no clue. I have no
But
idea.
they had this tail that the whole works swung.
Mm-hmm.
Is what they were showing. Which man, I don't know. It rotated. I mean, there weren't any trim tabs or anything on the rudder. The whole
Right.
when it trimmed it up, it dropped the whole real tail assembly went up and down. From what I understand, which
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't know that. But you could damn sure always recognize them with that vertical stabilizer
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I love that. I love that.
He says it would take he had a laminate flow wings and then a regular contour halfway out. But he said the air coming over the wings would that tail worked better
Mm-hmm.
when you were nose high or whatever like that. It would I don't know. It's the guy narrating that explains it, but it's kind of like you had better control or something.
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah. I love the way, as far as the sim is concerned, and from my understanding, people that have flown M20R say that it's pretty accurate. So I love flying it. That thing's just such a butter smooth thing to fly. It's beautiful. Yeah. I don't know what happened to me, man. I guess I'm getting old, but I'm starting to really enjoy the GA aircraft in the sim. I would
The what?
normally
Enjoy the
the
what?
the GA, general aviation
Couldn't hear
aircraft.
you. You kind
Yeah.
of went funky.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just the GA aircraft, the general aviation. Single engine.
You there?
Yeah, I guess you can't hear me.
I
Hmm.
did right then. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, good, good.
kind
Yeah,
of
no, I,
yeah,
I said GA,
kind
just
of like
general aviation.
yeah.
Oh. Alrighty, well, I guess the audio's starting to screw up too. Let me go ahead and get off here, and I will catch you later.
Okay, do your thing.
All
Thanks,
right.
Mike. Talk to you
Oh,
later.
not a problem. We'll catch you later.
Oh,
I hope
check
that.
your email.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do. We'll do. All right. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Try to get a little bit of prepping done. Work more towards building, not destroying, and just try to take it as easy as you can. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot. This situation in Venezuela is certainly just another one to watch and see how all this unfolds. So anyway, I hope you all have a good evening, good weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Hate to interrupt, but I don't know how I forgot this, but I didn't hear you mention it. Today is December 7th, in 1941, Pearl Harbor Day.
Oh, it
So,
slipped my
yeah,
mind. Thank you. Thank
yep.
you. Yeah, that totally had slipped my mind. Wow. That's crazy. And I don't think I saw anybody else really talking about it, have they?
Well, they did it on that America's Voice, Real
Okay.
America's Voice, and I know Steve Bannon. He's quite a aficionado on the World War II and stuff, and he was, they showed some stock photos and stuff, and that which and Roosevelt in his Day of Infamy speech, which I hate, but he brought up the fact that we still really don't know. We had broken the Japanese diplomatic code and their military code,
Mm-hmm.
and whether if who knew and when they knew that the Japanese were going to attack.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yeah, that's crazy. Alrighty,
So
well, I am gonna get out of
it'd
here.
be nice to find out.
Yes, there
That's
would
why
be.
if Trump would get in, I wish he'd just release it all. Say,
I agree.
have fun.
Same with the JFK
Kennedy
and
deal, the whole
9/11.
works. Oh
Yep.
yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Just what the hell? We're the government. We don't get to see what. Oh,
That's
the people can't handle it. I'll tell you what, we're not going to handle if they screw this. Keep screwing around.
right,
we're
right,
we're not going to handle that too well. Okay,
right.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't leave it without
Oh
seeing
yeah,
that it
I'm
flashed through
glad
my
you
mind. So,
I'm glad you did. Thank you.
um,
Yeah, it didn't even dawn on
yeah,
me at
that
all.
used to be a big deal.
Oh yeah, that's why I said I don't even recall, I mean people normally
Yeah,
talk about it a lot more, so I didn't even know. But
yeah.
alrighty, folks, so I am out of here. I hope you all have a good weekend, and God willing, we'll see you back here on Sunday evening. So, as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.